Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I was just enjoying a wonderful book. Now, let me do the very first thing that any good host does and say, welcome, 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 welcome to everyone in the ethereal plane that is Zoom meetings and performances. I hope you can all see me in the comfort and safety of your own homes or wherever you are. I don't know your lives. Now, welcome to Upfest, or Original Practice Shakespeare Festival. I am Jesse Waddell, one of the associate artists with the company. Now, normally we'd be performing outside in the wonderful, lovely, beautiful parks of Portland, Oregon, but today, a lucky treat brought to you by COVID-19, we get to perform to you in your own house. How spectacular is that? A very nice benefit for those of us on the East Coast at the moment. And we're just going to have a good time, have a great time, because tonight, you guys, tonight is a show that should be more well known and just frankly is super hilarious. It's the comedy of errors. Like, if the title doesn't just give everything away, I don't know how to explain the show to you. Now, this show is one of 21 different Shakespeare plays that we bring to you every Willfest. We started this year on June 21st, and we are going to continue 2 weeks later. You're catching us right at the tail end on August 16th. Now, I know what you're wondering. Jesse, I've seen so many Zoom Shakespeares lately because of the quarantine. How does OpsFest differ from any of the other various enterprises that I've seen? Well, let me tell you. The main key difference, and this will blow your socks off, is we don't rehearse. We do not rehearse. I still can't wrap my head around it sometimes that we don't rehearse. And you want to know why? Because we believe that's how they did it back in Shakespeare's day. Because back in Shakespeare's day, it was like Netflix. And I know everyone's enjoying a good amount of that, but it was like the Netflix back in the day. You'd go to the theater in the evenings, get some entertainment going, and you're not going to turn on Netflix and watch Hamlet 14 days in a row. I mean, I might, but I'm not you. So back in Shakespeare's day, they had to switch things up. They'd be doing a show almost every night and doing possibly 10 different shows a week. Now, that doesn't leave a lot of time for rehearsal, so they didn't rehearse. Now, I know follow-up question you must have, because the other is, well, how did they do the show then? How are you guys going to do the show? Well, gentle watcher, let me explain. We have these handy-dandy things called scrolls. Now, our scrolls have our lines on them. We can read our lines and perform. However, we don't have the whole script. We just have our own lines and a tiny bit of our cue line. And there's a couple reasons for this. One, back in the day, they didn't have printers, so writing it out, Hamlet, by hand would have taken forever. My hand cramps up after 3 sentences. I cannot imagine the strain of Hamlet 15 times. And the other thing is, back then, they didn't have copyrights. And we all know that actors are very untrustworthy and overly ambitious. So, say if Shakespeare had servant number 2, they could have just taken Hamlet and gone to the next theater and been like, hey, buddy, I got this great play called Hamlet, and I'll let you do it if you give me the main role. And that's not going to be good for Shakespeare back in the day. That's not going to be good for anybody, because then Joe What's-His-Name might have written Hamlet, and we never would have known. So we don't rehearse, they didn't rehearse, and things are going to get wild. But fortunately, things aren't going to get too wild, because we got something that I'm going to mention later. But first, another thing that we take from Shakespeare's day is we want to get you guys going. Now, normally, if we were in the parks and everything, we'd be going in the audience. We'd be talking to you guys, doing high fives all over the place. You know, finger guns. We can't really do that right now. We can do finger guns to the camera, but it's not quite the same. But we still want you guys to have, give us those response, those boos, those cheers, all of that. And please, the wonderful thing about this is you can comment and we can respond and we can have a nice back and forth that sometimes in the parks we couldn't. but now we can have that just free flow all the time, give and go all the day. Asia, Asia, who will be keeping up with your comments on Facebook today, and Laura will be handling the YouTube comments. So feel free to interact with them all throughout the show. Now, all of our shows in the parks or online are admission free. We give it to you guys for free because Shakespeare should be for everybody. We don't want a class barrier on art. That's ridiculous. So to make that possible, we do have some wonderful, absolutely wonderful and generous sponsors, like the fabulous Ronnie LaCroix, our season sponsor. We also have the Starseed Foundation, the Oregon Community Foundation, the Regional Arts and Cultural Council, RAC, the Advanced Gender Equity and the Arts Stage, the Kinsman Foundation, and of course, you guys. I mean, we've got all of those and they're wonderful and I cannot tell you how much we appreciate that, but it's nothing compared to the generosity that you guys bring us, and we really count on that. And so, uh, please, at any point in the show, feel free to give us some dollars in our buckets. You can text OpsFest online to 44321 or 44-321. I'm not actually sure if the hyphen's important, so just in case, 44-321. Um, or you can check us out on opsfest.org. No hyphen. I am completely wrong. So just 44321. And we've got a couple of different sponsors for our actors tonight. For our fabulous, fabulous prompter, Jacob Alexander, we have a sponsor for him for this show. You can do that for any actor. And we have a prompter for Aaron McGilvray, who plays the merchant today. I thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. I'm so stoked for all this going on. So again, please toss a dollar in our buckets. Maybe sponsor an actor in one of our future shows. Just anything you can do. And even if you can't, just chat with us online. Keep those comments going. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot of mayhem right now. You can probably tell from my energy that I've got a lot of mayhem going on right now just in the pre-show. So how do we keep that on track, like a railroad? Well, again, fabulous audience, let me tell you. Remember that thing about a prompter earlier that I mentioned a couple of times? Well, we have what we think they did in Shakespeare's day, and historically accurate, someone with the whole show keeping things on track. They're going to call us out if we've missed our cues or said the wrong line, and we're just going to laugh and just go with it. Maybe some improv, who knows? But we could not do these shows without our prompter. And today, our prompter is your best friend and mine, Jacob Alexander!
Hello! Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Comedy of Errors. I am your prompter today. I'm just going to get you warmed up a little bit. Like Jesse said, we are all about that audience interaction, and since we're not in the park, we need to get your typing fingers ready, so give them a little stretch out if you need to. And then I'll kind of split up our audience a little bit. So if you are watching this from your living room or, let's say, the kitchen, I want you to type some hurrahs in there, as if something great in the play just happened. We're really excited about it. And you can scream it too. I don't know if you have an audience there. Maybe your neighbors would enjoy to hear it. So I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, I want to hear everyone who's watching from their living room or the kitchen type in those hurrahs. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's fantastic. I can hear you from where I am. There must be somebody watching close by. Let's say if you're watching from your bedroom or, I don't know, the bathroom, if you're watching from either of those places, I want you to get some booze in there. Like we would give a villain, or maybe there's some lover stuff we don't like. You can boo whatever you'd like to. But let's get those boos ready in the chat, and again, say them out loud if you feel so. If that's good for where you are. And ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh, fantastic. You're going to be such a wonderful audience. I'm excited for the show today. So without further ado, OpsFest presents the Comedy of Errors.
Proceed, Solinus, and procure my fall, and by the doom of death end woes and all.
Merchant of Syracusa, plead no more. I am not partial to infringe our laws. The enmity and discord which of late sprung from the rancorous outrage of your duke to merchants, our well-dealing countrymen, have sealed his rigorous statutes with their bloods, excludes all pity from our threatening looks. And hath in solemn synods been decreed, both by the Syracusans and ourselves, to admit no traffic to our adverse towns. Nay, more, if any born at Ephesus be seen in any Syracusan marts and fairs, again, if any Syracusan born come to the bay of Ephesus, they die. Their goods confiscate to the duke's dispose, unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and to ransom them. Thy substance, valued at the highest rate, cannot amount unto 100 marks. Therefore, by law, thou art condemned to die.
Yet this my comfort. When your words are done, my woes end likewise with the evening sun.
Well, Syracusan, say in brief the cause why thou departst from thy native home, and for what cause thou came to Ephesus.
In Syracusa was I born, and wed unto a woman, happy but for me, and by me had not our hap been bad. With her I lived in joy. Our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made, and the great care of goods at random left drew me from the kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months old before herself, almost fainting under the pleasing punishment of that women bear, had made provision for her following me, and soon safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became a joyful mother of 2 goodly girls. 2 goodly girls, and which was strange that the one so like the other, as could not be distinguished but by names. That very hour, and in the self same inn, a mean woman was delivered of such a burthen. Male twins. And what am I saying?
Both alike.
Those, but for their parents, were exceeding poor. I bought and brought up to attend my girls. My wife, not meaningly proud of 2 such girls, made daily motions for our home return. Unwilling, I agreed. Alas, too soon came aboard. For what obscured the light heaven did grant, did but convey us to our fearless minds a doubtful warrant of immediate death. The sailors sought the safety by our boat and left their ship, then sinking right to us. My wife, more careful for the latter born, had fastened her unto a small spare mast, such as a seafaring men provide for storms. To her, on the other, one of the other twins was bound, whilst I had been like heedful of the other. The children thus disposed, my wife and I, fixing our eyes on whom our care was fixed, fastened ourselves at either end of the mast, and floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried toward Corinth, as we thought. The seas waxed calm, and we discovered two ships from far, making amain to us of Corinth that, of Epidaurus this. But ere they came, oh, let me say no more. Gather for the secret by what went before.
Nay, forward, old man. Do not break off so, for we may pity, though not pardon thee.
Oh, had the gods done so, I had not now worthy learned them merciless to us, for ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne up, our helpful ship was splitted in the midst. So that this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike, what to delight in, what sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seemed as burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind. In our sight, they were there taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length another ship had seized on us, and knowing whom it was their hat to save, gave helpful welcome to their shipwrecked guests, gave helpful and would have reft the fishers of their prey, had not their back been very slow of sail, and therefore homeward did they bend for their course, and therefore thus have you heard me severed from my bliss, that by misfortune was my life prolonged, to tell sad stories of my own mishaps.
What have befallen of them and they till now?
My youngest girl, yet my eldest care, some years ago, became inquisitive after her sister, and importuned me that her attendant, so his case was like rest of his brother, but retained the name, might bear her company on the quest for him, who whilst I labored a love to see, I hazarded the loss of whom I love. 5 summers have I spent in farthest Greece, roaming clean through the bounds of Asia, and coasting homeward, came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought, or that, or any place that harbors men. But here's my life, and happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels warrant me they live.
Hapless Aegean, whom the fates have marked to bear the extremities of dire mishap. Now trust me, were it not against our laws, against my crown, my oath, my dignity, my soul should sue as advocate for thee. But though thou art adjudged to the death, yet I will favor thee in what I can. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus. Beg thou, or borrow to make up the sum and live. If no, then thou art doomed to die. Jailer, take him into thy custody.
I will, my lord.
Hopeless and helpless doth Aegean wend, but to procrastinate his lifeless end.
Therefore get you out, you are of Epidemium, lest that your goods too soon be confiscate. This very day a Syracusan merchant is apprehended for arrival here, and not being able to buy out his life, according to the statute of the town, dies ere the weary sun in the west. There is your money that I had to keep.
Go, bear it to the centaur where we host, and stay there, Dromio, till I come to thee. Within this hour it will be dinner time. Till that I'll view the manners of the town, peruse the traders, gaze upon the buildings, and then return and sleep within mine inn. For with long travel I am stiff and weary. Get thee away.
Many a man would take you at your word, and go indeed having so good a mean.
A trusty villain, ma'am, that very oft when I am dull with care and melancholy, lightens my humor with his merry jests. Oh, what, will you walk with me about the town and then go to my inn and dine with me, huh?
I'm invited, sir, to certain merchants of whom I hope to make much such benefit. I crave your pardon. Soon at 5 o'clock, please you, I'll meet you with you upon the mart, and afterward consort you till bedtime. My present business calls me from you now.
Oh, well, farewell till then. I will go loose myself and wander up and down to view the city.
Sir, and you to your own content.
Ah. He that commends me to mine own content commends me to the thing I cannot get. I to the world am like a drop of water that in the ocean seeks another drop, who falling there to find her fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds herself. So I, to find a mother and a sister, in quest of them, unhappy, loose myself. Oh, here comes the almanac of my true date. What now? How chance thou art returned so soon?
Returned so soon, rather approach too late. The capon burns, the pig falls from the spit. The clock hath struck 12 upon the bell. My mistress hath made it 1 upon my cheek. She is so hot because the meat is cold. The meat is cold because you come not home. You come not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach, having broke your fast. But we that know what it is to fast and pray are penitent for your default today.
Stop in your wind, sir. Tell me this, I pray. Where have you left the money that I gave you?
Oh, 6 pence that I had a Wednesday last to pay the saddler for my mistress Crupper. The saddler had it, sir. I kept it not.
I am not in a sportive humor now. Tell me, and dally not, where is the money? We being strangers here, how darest thou trust so great a charge from thine own custody?
I pray you jest, sir, as you sit at dinner. I from my mistress come to you in post. If I return, I shall be post indeed, for she will scour your fault upon my pate. Methinks your ma, like mine, should be your cook and strike you home without a messenger.
Come, Dromio, these jests are out of season. Reserve them till a merrier hour than this. Where is the gold I gave in charge to thee?
To me, sir? Why, you gave no gold to me?
Come on, sir knave, have done your foolishness, and tell me how thou hast disposed my charge.
My charge was but to fetch you from the mart home to your house, the Phoenix, sir, to dinner. My mistress and her sister stays for you.
Now, as I am a Christian, answer me. In what safe place you have bestowed my money, or I shall break that merry sconce of yours that stands on tricks when I am undisposed. Where is the 1,000 marks thou hadst of me?
I have some marks of yours upon my pate, some of my mistress's marks upon my shoulders, but not 1,000 marks between you both. If I should pay your worship those again, perchance you will not bear them patiently.
Thy mistress, marks? What mistress, knave, hast thou?
Your worship's wife, my mistress, at the Phoenix, she that doth fast till you come home to dinner, and prays that you will hie you home to dinner.
What wilt thou flout me thus unto my face, being forbid? There, take you that, sir knave.
What mean you, sir? For God's sake, hold your hands. Nay, you will not, sir. I will take my heels.
Oh, upon my life, by some device or other, the villain is o'erwrought of all my money. Oh. They say this town is full of cousinage, as nimble jugglers that deceive the eye, dark working sorcerers that change the mind, soul-killing witches that deform the body, disguise as cheaters, praising mountebanks, and many such like liberties of sin. If it proves so, I will be gone the sooner. I'll to the centaur to go seek this knave. I greatly fear my money is not safe.
Neither my husband, my wife, nor the knave returned, that in such haste I sent to seek his master. Sure, Luciana, it is 2:00.
Perhaps a merchant hath
hey-
invited her.
Hey, Adriana. I'm just curious, does this happen pretty often to you and your wife?
Well, I mean, a couple of times, typically. She comes home with something pretty for me, like these.
So
But it's never this long. It's been hours and hours.
I see. Well, thank you. Can we take that from Luciana? Perhaps some merchant?
Perhaps some merchant hath invited her, and from the march she's somewhere gone to dinner. Good sister, let us dine and never fret. Your wife is master of her liberty. Time is her master, and when she sees time, she'll go or come. If so, be patient, sister.
Why should their liberty than ours be more?
Because her business still lies out a door.
Look, when I serve her so, she takes it thus.
Oh no, she is the bridle of your will.
None but asses will be bridled so.
Why, headstrong liberty is lashed with woe. There's nothing situate under heaven's eye, but hath his bound in earth, in sea, in sky. The beasts, the fishes, and the winged fowls are masters to their females and their wives. Then let your will attend on her accords.
This servitude makes you to keep unwed.
Not this, but troubles of the marriage bed.
But were you wedded, you would bear some sway.
Ere I learn love, I'll practice to obey.
How? If your dear wife starts some other where?
Till she come home again, I would forbear.
Patience, unmoved, no marvel though she pause. They can be meek that have no other cause. A wretched soul bruised with adversity, we bid be quiet when we hear it cry. But were we burdened with like weight of pain, as much or more we should ourselves complain. So thou that hast no one kind mate to grieve thee, with urging helpless patience would relieve me. But if thou live to see like right bereft, this full begged patience in thee will be left.
Well, I will marry one day, but to try. Oh, here comes your Dromio. Now is your wife nigh.
Say, is your tardy master now at hand?
Nay, she's at 2 hands with me, and that my 2 ears can witness.
Say, didst thou speak with her? Knowest thou her mind?
Aye, she told her mind upon my ear. Beshrew her hand, I could scarce understand it.
But say, I prithee, is she coming home? It seems she had great care to please her wife.
Why, Mistress Dromio?
I do not have. Oh, why, mistress? Sure, my master is horn mad.
Horn mad?
Again? I meant not cuckold mad, but sure she is stark mad. When I desired her to come home to dinner, she asked me 100 marks in gold. 'Tis dinner time,' quoth I. My gold, quoth she. Oh, will you come? Quoth I. My gold, quoth she. Where's the 1,000 marks I gave? Your meat doth burn, quoth I. My gold, quoth she. Will you come? Quoth I. My gold, quoth she. Where is the 1,000 marks I gave thee, villain? The pig, quoth I, doth burn. My gold, quoth she. My mistress, sir, quoth I. Hang up thy mistress. I know not thy mistress. Out on thy mistress.
Quoth who, Luciana?
Oh, quoth who?
Quoth my master. I know, quoth she. No house, no wife, no mistress.
What?
My errant due unto my tongue, I thank him. I bear home upon my shoulders, for in conclusion she did beat me there.
Go back again, thou knave, and fetch her home.
Go back again and be new beaten home? For God's sake, send some other messenger.
Or I will break that page across.
And she will bless yet cross with other beating. Between you I shall have a holy head.
Hence, prating peasant, fetch thy master home.
And I so round with you as you with me, that like a football do spurn me, thus you spurn me hence, and she will spurn me hither. If I last in this service, you must case me in leather.
Oh, fie, how impatience loureth in your face.
Her company must do her minions grace, whilst I at home start for a merry look. Hath homely age the alluring beauty took from my poor cheek? Then she hath wasted it. Are my discourses dull, barren my wit, if voluble and sharp discourse be marked? Unkindness blunts it more than marble heart. Do their gay vestments her affections bait? That's not my fault. She's master of my state. What ruins are in me that can be found by her? Not ruins. Then is she the ground of my defeatures, my decayed fair. A sunny look of hers would soon repair, but too unruly dear, she breaks the pail and feeds from home. Poor I am, but her stale.
Oh, self-harming jealousy, fie, beat it hence.
Unfeeling fools can with such wrongs dispense. I know her eye doth homage otherwhere, or else what lets it but she would be here? Sister, you know she promised me a chain. Would that alone a love she would detain, so she would keep fair quarter with her bed, since that my beauty could not please her eye. Oh, weep what's left away, and weeping sigh.
How many fond fools serve mad jealousy?
The gold I gave to Dromio is laid up safe at the centaur. And the heedful knave is wandered forth in care to seek me out. By computation and mine host's report, it's very strange. I could not speak with Dromio, since at first I sent him from the mart. See where he comes. How now, sir? Is your merry humor altered? As you love strokes, so jest with me again. You know no centaur. You received no gold. Your mistress sent to have me home to dinner. My house was at the Phoenix. Wast thou mad that thus so madly thou didst answer me?
Oh, what answer, ma'am? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since, was that zucchini from the boat we were saving that?
No, it's cucumber.
Oh, okay, fine.
Right. I did not see you, since you sent me hence home to the centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold's receipt and toldst me of a mistress and a dinner, for which I hope thou feltst I was displeased.
I am glad to see you in this merry vein. What means this jest? I pray you, mistress, tell me.
Yea, dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Thinkst you I jest? Oh, hold, take thou that!
No!
That!
No!
That!
No!
That!
Oh! Oh! Hold! Sir, for God's sake, now your jest is earnest. Upon what bargain do you give it me?
Because that I familiarly sometimes do use you for my fool and chat with you, your sauciness will jest upon my love and make a common of my serious hours. If you will jest with me, know my aspect and fashion your demeanor to my looks, or I will beat this method in response.
Sconce called you it, so you would leave battering. I had rather have it ahead, and you use these blows long. I must get a sconce for my head, and ensconce too, or else I shall seek my wit in my shoulders. But I pray, ma'am, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, ma'am, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, ma'am. And wherefore? For they say, every why hath a wherefore.
Why, first for flouting me, and then wherefore for urging it a second time.
Was ever there any man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and wherefore is neither rhyme nor reason? Well, ma'am, I thank you.
Thank me? Sir, for what?
Marry, ma'am, for this something that you gave me for nothing.
I'll make you amends next to give you nothing for something. But say, sir, is it dinner time?
No, ma'am, I think the meat wants that I have.
In good time, sir, what's that?
Basting.
Well, sir, then 'twill be dry.
If it be, ma'am, I pray you eat none of it.
Your reason?
Lest it make you choleric and purchase me another dry basting.
Well, sir, learn to jest in good time. There's a time for all things, huh? Oh, but soft. Who walks us yonder?
I, Antipholus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspect. I am not Adriana, nor thy wife. The time was once when thou urged wouldst that never words were music to thine ears, that never object pleasing to thine eye, that never touch well welcome to thy hands, that never meet good in thy taste.
Lady,
that I spake, or looked, or touched, or carved to thee. Sit now, my sweet wife. Oh, comes it
dear,
that thou art then estranged from self. That if I call it being strange to me. Oh, do not do so. For no, my love, as easy mayst thou fall. A drop of water in the breaking gulf, and take unmingled thence that drop again without addition or diminution, and take from me thyself, and not me too. How dearly would it touch thee to the quick, shouldst thou but hear I were licentious, and that this body consecrate to thee by ruffian lust should be contaminate. Wouldst thou not spit at me and spurn at me and hurl the name of wife in my face and tear the stained skin of my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring?
Oh boy.
Divorcing vow. I know thou canst, and therefore see thou do it. I am possessed with an adulterate plot. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust. For if we two be one, and thou play false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Keep them fair league and truce with thy true bed. I live disdained, thou dishonored.
Plead you to me, fair dame. I know you not in Ephesus. I am but 2 hours old, as strange unto your town as to your talk, who every word by all my wit being scanned wants wit in all, one word to understand.
Fie, sister, how the world is changed with you. When were you wont to use my sister thus? She sent for you by Dromio home to dinner.
By Dromio.
By me?
By thee! And this thou didst return from her, that she did buffet thee, and in her blows denied my house for her peasant, and me for her wife.
Did you converse, sir, with this gentlewoman? What is the course and drift of your compact?
Ma'am, I never saw her till this time.
Villain, thou liest, for even her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in all my life.
How can she thus then call us by our names? Unless it be by inspiration.
Oh!
How ill agrees it with your gravity to counterfeit thus grossly with your name, abetting him to thwart me in my mood, be it my wrong. You are from me exempt, but wrong, not that wrong, with a more contempt. Come, I will fasten on this sleeve of thine. Thou art an elm, my dear wife, and I am thine.
Oh my!
Married to thy stranger's state makes me strength to communicate.
To me, she speaks. She moves me for her theme. What was I married to her in my dream? Or sleep I now and think I hear all this? Oh, what error drives our eyes and ears amiss? Oh, until I know this sure uncertainty, I'll entertain the Freed fallacy.
Romeo, go bid the servants spread for dinner.
Oh, for my beads, I cross me for a sinner. This is the fairyland. Oh, spite of spites, we talk with goblins, owls, and sprites. If we obey them not, this will ensue. They'll suck our breath or pinch us black and blue.
What pratest thou to thyself and answerest not? Dromio, thou snail, thou slug, thou snot!
I am transformed, mistress, am I not?
I think you art in mind, and so am I.
Nay, mistress, both in mind and in my shape.
Thou hast thine own form.
No, I am an ape.
If thou art changed to aught, 'tis to an ass.
'Tis true, she rides me, and I long for grass. 'Tis so, I am an ass, else it could never be. But I should know her as well as she knows me.
Come, no longer will I be a fool. To put the finger in the eye and weep, whilst man and mistress laughs my woes to scorn. Come, miss, to dinner. Dromio, keep the gate. Oh, wife, I'll dine above with you today, and shrive you of 1,000 idle pranks. Sarah, if any ask for your mistress, say she dines forth, and let no creature enter.
No.
Dromio, play the porter well.
Am I in earth or heaven or in hell? Sleeping or waking, mad or well advised, known unto these and to myself disguised? I'll say as they say and persever so, and in this mist at all adventures go.
Mistress, shall I be porter at the gate?
Aye, and let none enter lest I break your pace.
Come, Antipholus, we dine too late.
Good, Signor Angelo, you must excuse us all. My wife is shrewish when I keep not hours. Say that I lingered with you at the shop to see the making of her carcanet, and that tomorrow you will bring it home. Ugh, but here's the villain that would face me down. He met me at the mart. He met me at the mart, and that I beat him and charged him with 1,000 marks in gold, and that I did deny my wife and house. Thou drunkard, thou, what dost thou mean by this?
Say what you will, sir, but I know what I know, that you beat me at the mart. I have your hand to show. If your skin were parchment and the blows you gave were ink, your own handwriting would tell you what I think.
I think thou art an ass.
Marry, so it doth appear by the wrongs I suffer and the blows I bear. I should kick being kicked, and being at that pass you would keep from my heels, and beware an ass.
You're sad, Signor Balthazar. Pray God, our cheer, may good my will and your good welcome here.
I hold your dainties cheap, sir, and your welcome dear.
Oh, Signor Balthazar, either at flesh or fish, a table full of welcome makes scarce one dainty dish.
Good meat, sir, is common that every churl affords.
And welcome more common, for that's nothing but words.
Small cheer and great welcome makes a merry feast.
I to a sluggardly host and more sparing guest, but though my cates be mean, take them in good part. Better cheer may you have, but not with better heart, but soft. My door is locked. Go bid them let me in.
Maud, Bridget, Marion, Cicely, Jillian, Jen.
No, Malthorse, Capon, Coxcomb, idiot, Patch, either get thee from the door, or sit down at the hatch. Dost thou conjure for wenches that you call'st for such store? When one is one too many, go get thee from the door.
Our porter, my master stays in the
Let
street.
him walk from whence he came, lest he catch cold on's feet.
Who talks with them there? Holla, open the door.
Right, ma'am, I'll tell you when, and you'll tell me wherefore.
Wherefore? For my dinner. I have not dined today.
Nor today here, you must not come again when you may.
What are thous that keepest me out from the hours I owe?
The porter for this time, ma'am, and my name is Dromio.
Oh, villain! Has stolen my name in my office! That one ne'er got me credit, the other mickle blame. If thou hast been Dromio the day in my place, thou wouldst have changed thy face for a name, or thy name for an ass.
What a coil is there, Dromio? Who are those at the gate?
Let my master in, Luce.
Faith, no, she comes too late, and so tell your master.
Oh, Lord, I must laugh. Half at you with the proverb shall I set in my staff.
Have yet you with another, that's when. Can you tell?
If thy name be called Luce, thou hast answered him well.
Do you hear, you minion? Let us in, I hope.
Thought to have asked you.
And you said no.
So come help, well stroke, there was blow for blow.
Thou baggage, let me in.
Can you tell for whose sake?
Master, knock the door hard.
Let her knock till it ache.
You'll cry for this minion if I beat the door down.
What needs all that? And a pair of stocks in the town.
Who's that at the door, Adriana?
Who is that at the door yet keeps all this noise?
By my troth, your town is troubled with unruly boys.
Are you there, wife? You might have come before.
You what, sir knave? Go, get you from the door.
If you win in pain, master, this knave would go sore.
Here's neither cheer, sir, nor welcome. We would fain have either.
In debating which was best, we shall part with neither.
They stand at the door, master, bid them welcome hither.
There is something in the wind. What, will we cannot get in?
You would say so, master, if your garments were thin. Your cake is warm within, you stand here in the cold. It would make a man mad as a buck to be so bought and sold.
Go fetch me something. I'll break open the door.
Break any breaking here, and I'll break your knave's pate.
A man may break a word with you, sir, and words are but wind. I break it in your face, so he would not break it from behind.
It seems thou want'st breaking out upon the hind.
Here's too much out upon thee, Dromio of Ephesus.
Here's too much out upon thee. I pray thee, let me in.
Aye, when fowls have no feathers and fish have no fin.
Oh, well, I'll break in. Go borrow me a crow.
A crow without feather, master, mean you so? For a fish without a fin, there's a fowl without a feather. If a crow help us in, sirrah, we'll pluck a crow together.
Go, get thee gone. Fetch me an iron crow.
Have patience, sir. Oh, let it not be so. Herein you war against your reputation and draw the compass of suspect the unviolate honor of your wife. Once this your long experience of your wisdom, her sober virtue, years, and modesty plead on your part some cause to you unknown. And doubt not, sir, but she will well excuse why at this time the doors are made against you. Be ruled by me. Depart in patience, and let us to the Tiger, all to dinner. And about the evening come yourself, to know the reason of this strange restraint. If by strong hand you offer to break in, now in the stirring passage of the day, a vulgar comment will be made of it, and that supposed by the common rout against your yet ungalled estimation, that may with foul intrusion enter in and dwell upon your grave when you are dead. For slander lives upon secession, forever housed where it gets possession.
You have prevailed. I will depart in quiet, and in despite of mirth and mean to be merry. I know a wench of excellent discourse, pretty and witty, wild and yet too gentle. There will we dine. This woman that I mean, my wife, but I protest without desert, hath oftentimes upbraided me withal. To her we will to dinner. Get you home, and fetch the chain, by this I know 'tis made. Bring it, I pray you, to the Porpentine, for there the house. The chain will I bestow, be it for nothing but to spite my wife, upon my hostess there. Good sir, make haste. Since mine own doors refuse to entertain me, I'll knock elsewhere to see if they'll disdain me.
I'll meet you at that place some hour hence.
Do so. This jest shall come me some expense.
And may it be that you have quite forgot a spouse's office? Shall Antipholus, even in the spring of love, thy love springs rot? Shall love in buildings grow, so ruin it? If you did wed my sister for her wealth, then for her wealth's sake, use her with more kindness. Or, if you like elsewhere, do it by stealth. Muffle your false love with some show of blindness. Let not my sister read it in your eye. Be not thy tongue thy own shame's orator. Look sweet, speak fair, become disloyalty. Apparel vice like virtue's harbinger. Bear a fair presence, though your heart be tainted. Teach sin the carriage of a holy saint. Be secret false. What need she be acquainted? What simple thief brags of her own attain? 'Tis double wrong to truant with your bed and let her read it at thy looks at board. Shame hath a bastard fame well managed. Ill deeds is doubled with an evil word. Then, gentle sister, get you in again. Comfort my sister. Cheer her, call her wife. 'Tis holy sport to be a little vain when the sweet breath of flattery conquers strife.
Sweet mistress. What your name is else I know not, nor by what wonder you do hit of mine lessen your knowledge and your grace you show not, than our earth's wonder more than earth divine. Against my soul's pure truth why labor you, to make it wander in an unknown field? Are you a god? Would you create me new? Oh, transform me then, and to your power I'll yield. But if that I am I, then well I know your weeping sister is no wife of mine, nor to her bed no homage do I owe. Far more to you do I decline. Oh, train me not, sweet mermaid, with thy note to drown me in thy sister's flood of tears. Sing, siren, for thyself, and I will dote. Spread o'er the silver waves thy golden hairs, and as a bud I'll take thee, and there lie, and in that glorious supposition think, she that gains by death that hath such means to die, let love, being a light, be drowned if she sink.
Oh. Are you mad that you do reason so?
Oh, not mad, but mated. How? I do not know.
It is a fault that springeth from your eye.
For gazing on your beams, fair sun being by.
Gaze when you should, and that will clear your sight.
Oh, it's good to wink, sweet love, and look on night.
Why call you me love? Call my sister
Thy
so.
sister's sister?
That's my sister.
No, it is thyself, mine own self's better part, mine eye's clear eye, my dear heart's dearer heart, my food, my fortune, and my sweet hope's aim, my soul earth's heaven, and my heaven's claim.
All this my sister is, or else should be.
Oh, call thyself sister sweet, for I am thee. Thee will I love, and with thee lead my life. Oh, thou hast no partner yet, nor I no wife. Give me thy hand.
Oh, soft sir, hold you still. I'll fetch my sister to get her goodwill.
Oh, keep it cool, man. Keep it cool, keep it cool, keep it cool. Why, how now, Dromio? Where runnest thou so fast?
Do you know me, ma'am? Am I Dromio? Am I your man? Am I myself?
Oh, that thou art Dromio, thou art my man, thou art thyself.
I am an ass, I am a woman's man, and besides myself.
What woman's man? And how besides thyself?
Marry, ma'am, besides myself, I am due to a woman, one that claims me, one that haunts me, one that will have me.
Oh, what claim lays she to thee?
Marry, sir, such claim as you would lay to your house, and she would have me to a beast. Not that I being a beast that she would have me, but that she, being a very beastly creature, lays claim to me. I have but lean luck in the match, and yet she is a wondrous hot marriage.
Oh, how dost thou mean a hot marriage?
Mary, ma'am, she is the kitchen wench, and she sweats a man may go over shoes in the grime of it. Yeah.
That's a fault of that water, Antipholus.
Oh, I do not have that line. Could you read it for me? Oh, here we are. That's a fault water will mend.
No, ma'am, 'tis in grain. Noah's flood could not do it. She is spherical, like a globe. I could find out countries in her.
Ooh, this is a good game. In what part of her body stands Ireland?
Marry, sir, in her buttocks. I found it out by the bogs.
Where? Scotland.
I found it by the barrenness, hard in the palm of her hand.
Oh! Where? France.
In her forehead, armed and reverted, making war against her hair.
Where? England.
I looked for the chalk cliffs, but I could find no whiteness in them. But I guess it stood in her chin by the salt room that ran between France and it.
Where? Spain.
Ah, faith, I saw it not, but I felt it hot on her breath.
Where stood the Netherlands?
Oh, sir, man, I did not look so low. To conclude, this drudge or diviner laid claim to me, called me Dromio, swore I was assured to her, told me what privy marks I had about me as the mark of my shoulder, the mole on my neck, the great wart on my left arm, that I, amazed, ran from her as from a witch, and I think, if my breast had not been made of faith and my heart of steel, she had transformed me to a curtal dog and made me turn in the wheel.
That's not great. Go. Hie thee presently, post to the road, and if the wind blow any way from shore, I will not harbor in this town tonight. If any bark put forth, come to the marge where I will walk till thou return to me. If everyone knows us and we know none, 'tis time, I think, to trudge, pack, and be gone.
As from a bear a man would run for life, so fly I from her that would be my wife.
There's none but witches do inhabit here, and therefore 'tis high time that I were hence. She that doth call me wife, even my soul doth for a wife abhor. But her fair sister, possessed with such a gentle, sovereign grace, of such enchanting presence and discourse, hath almost made me traitor to myself. But least myself be guilty to self-wrong, I'll stop mine ears against the mermaid song.
Miss Antipholus!
Aye, that's my name.
I know it well, ma'am. Lo, here's the chain I thought to obtain you at the Porpentine. The chain unfinished made me stay thus long.
What is your will that I shall do with this?
Whatever yourself, ma'am. I made it for you.
Made it for me. I bespoke it not.
Not once, not twice, but 20 times you have. Go home with it, and please your spouse withal, and soon at supper time I'll visit you, and then receive my money for the chain.
I pray you, sir, receive the money now, for fear you ne'er see chain nor money more.
You are a merry one, ma'am. Fare you well.
What I should think of this, I cannot tell. But, well, this I think, there's no one is so vain that would refuse so fair an offered chain. I see that one here needs not live by shifts, when in the streets she meets such golden gifts. Out to the mart, and there for Dromio stay. If any ship put out, then straight away.
And that is intermission. So we're going to take a quick break. You can get up, stretch if you need to, use the bathroom. There's no lines, which is great. So we will be back in, I believe, about 10 minutes, and we'll see you then.
That's right, Jacob. We're just going to hit halftime right now. Real quick, I just wanted to mention the people who have sponsored our actors today. That'd be Annie Ashton was the one that sponsored Jacob, and Clark Swinford sponsored Aaron today. We just wanted to make sure you guys heard your shout out and wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you again. So like Jacob said, feel free to go to the bathroom. Feel free as well to drop some money in our buckets and text OpsFest online to 44321, and just please keep up those comments. I'm looking at them. I know my fellow castmates are looking at them, and they are so on point. So just keep interacting, and we're just going to set up a little timer, and we'll be back again in like 10 minutes.
All right, welcome back, everyone, for part 2 of Comedy of Errors. Woo! I hope you all had a great break. Make sure you shake out your hands a little bit if you need to warm them back up for getting into those comments section, either on Facebook or YouTube. And we'll just get right into it. So let's go with part 2 of A Comedy of Errors.
You know, since Pentecost the sum is due, and since I have not much importuned you, nor now I had not, but that I am bound to Persia and want guilders for my voyage. Therefore, make present satisfaction, or I'll attach you by this officer.
Even just the sum that I do owe you is growing on me by Antipholus, and in the instant that I met with you, she had of me a chain at 5 o'clock. I shall receive the money for the same. Pleaseth you, walk with me down to her house. I will discharge my bond and thank you too.
That labor may you save. See where he comes.
While I go to the goldsmith's house, go thou and buy a rope's end that I will bestow among my wife and their confederates for locking me out of the doors by day. But soft, I see the goldsmith, be gone, and buy thou a rope and bring it home to me.
I buy £1,000 a year, I buy a rope.
One is well hope up that trust to you. I promised her presents and a chain, but neither the chain nor goldsmith came to me. Be like you thought our love would last too long if it were chained together and therefore came not.
Saving your merry humor, here's the note of here's the note of how much you're. Where am I?
Saving your merry humor, here's the note.
Saving your merry humor, here's the note of how much your chain weighs to the utmost carats, the finest of gold, in the chargeful fashion, which doth amount to 3 odd ducats more than I stand debted to this gentleman. I pray you, see him presently discharged, for he is bound to sea, and stays but for it.
I am not furnished with the present money. Besides, I have some business in the town. Good signor, take the stranger to my house, and with you take the chain, and bid my wife disperse the sum on the resent thereof. Perchance I will be there as soon as you.
Then you will bring the chain to her yourself.
No, bear it with you, lest I not come time enough.
Well, ma'am, I will have you the chain about you.
And if I have not, sir, I hope you have, or else you may return without your money.
Nay, come, I pray you, ma'am, give me the chain, both wind and tide stays for this gentleman, and I too blame have held him.
Good Lord, you use this dalliance to excuse your breach of promise to the Porpentine. I should have chid you for not bringing it, but like a shrew, you first began to brawl.
The hour steals on, I pray you, sir, dispatch.
You hear how he importunes me? The chain.
Why, give it to my wife and fetch your money.
Come, you know I gave it to you. Even now, either send the chain or send me by some token.
Fine, now you run this humor out of breath. Come, where's my chain? I pray you let me see it.
My business cannot brook this dalliance. Good sir, say whether you answer me or no. If not, I'll leave him to this officer.
I answer you.
I answer you? What should I answer you?
The money that you owe for me for the chain.
I owe you none till I receive the chain.
You know I gave it to you half an hour since.
You gave me not. You wrong me much to say so.
You wrong me more, ma'am, in denying it. Consider how it stands upon my credit.
Well, officer, arrest them at my suit.
I do, and charge you in the Duke's name to obey me.
This touches me in reputation. Either consent to pay this sum to me, or I'll attach you to this officer.
Consent to pay thee that I never had. Arrest me, foolish fellow, if thou darest.
Here's thy fee. Arrest her, officer. I would not spare my brother in this case if he should scorn me so apparently.
I do arrest you, ma'am. You hear the suit.
I do obey thee till I give thee bail, but sirrah, you shall buy this sport as dear as all the metal in the shop will answer.
Ma'am, I have the law of Ephesus to your notorious shame. I doubt it not.
Mistress, there's a bark of epidemium that stays but till her owner comes aboard, and then, sir, she bears away. Our freightage, sir, I have conveyed aboard. The ship is in her trim. The merry wind blows fair from land. They stay for naught at all, but their owner, mistress, and yourself.
How now, a madman? Why, thou peevish sheep, what ship of epidemium states me for?
A ship you sent me to hire waftage.
Thou drunken knave, I sent thee for a rope, and told thee to what purpose and to what end.
You sent me to the bay, ma'am, for a bark.
I will debate this matter at more leisure and teach your ears to trust me with more heed. To Adriana, villain, hie thee straight. Give her this key and tell her to the desk that covered o'er with Turkish tapestry there is a purse of ducats. Let her send it. Tell her I am arrested in the street and shall bail me. Hie thee, knave, be gone. On, officer, to prison till I come.
To Adriana, that is where we dined, where Dowsabel did claim me for her husband. Thither I must, although against my will, for servants must their masters' minds fulfill.
Did she tempt thee so? Mightst thou perceive austerely in her eye that she did plead in earnest? Yea or no? What observation madest thou in this case? Oh, her heart's meteors tilting in her face.
Well, first, she denied you had in her no right.
She meant she did me none, the more my spite.
Then swore she that she was a stranger here.
And true she swore, though yet forsworn she were.
Then pleaded I for you.
And what said she?
That love I begged for you, she begged of me.
With what persuasion did she tempt thy love?
With words that in an honest suit might move. First she did praise my beauty, then my speech.
Did speak her fair?
Oh, have patience, I beseech.
I cannot, nor will I hold me still. My tongue, though not my heart, shall have her will. She is deformed, crooked, old, and sere, ill-faced, worse-bodied, shapeless everywhere, vicious and gentle, foolish, blunt, unkind, stigmatical, in making worse and
Who would be jealous then of such a one? No evil lost is wailed when it is gone.
better than I say. That would in other eyes were worse. Far from her nest the lapwing cries, and my heart prays for her, though my tongue do curse.
Here, go, the desk, the purse, sweet, now make haste.
How hast thou lost thy breath?
By running fast.
Where is thy mistress, Dromio? Is she well?
No, she's in Tartar limbo, worse than hell. A devil in an everlasting garment hath her, a hound that runs counter, and yet draws Dryfoot well, one that before the judgment carries poor souls to hell.
Oh, what? Man, what is the matter?
I do not know the matter. She is rested on the case.
Oh, she's arrested? Tell me at whose suit?
I know not at whose suit she is arrested well, but in a suit of buff which rested her, that I can tell. Will you send her mistress redemption, the money in her desk?
Well, go fetch it, sister. This I once read. Thus, she unknown to me should be in debt? Tell me, was she arrested on a band?
Oh, not on a band, but on a stronger thing, a chain, a chain. Do you not hear it ring?
What? The chain?
No, the bell. Oh, 'tis time that I were gone. It was 2 ere I left her, and now the clock strikes 1.
Oh, the hours come back that didn't I never hear.
Oh, yes, if any hour meet a sergeant, it turns back for very fear.
As if time were in debt, how fondly dost thou reason?
Time is a very bankrupt, and owes more than he is worth to season. Nay, he's a thief too. Have you not heard men say that time comes stealing on by night and day? If I be in debt and theft and a sergeant in the way, hath he not reason to turn back an hour in a day?
Oh, go, Dromio. Here's the money. Bear it straight, and bring thy mistress home immediately. Come, sister. I am pressed down with conceit, my comfort and my injury.
There's not a one I meet but doth salute me as if I were their well-acquainted friend. Hello. And every one doth call me by my name. Some tender money to me, some invite me, oh, some other give me thanks for kindnesses, some offer me commodities to buy. Oh, even now, a tailor called me to his shop and showed me silks that he had bought for me, and therewithal took measure of my body. Sure, these are but imaginary wiles, and Lapland sorcerers inhabit here. What?
Oh, wow, it is hot in here.
Well, I'm so confused.
It's kind of cramped in here. Master, here's the gold you sent me for. What, have you got the picture of old Adam?
What gold is this? What Adam dost thou mean? I am very confused.
Antipholus, while we're waiting
yes.
for Dromio, tell us about, like, it sounds like there's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces.
Some better than others, yeah.
Can we let's take a deep breath really quickly here to just center ourselves a little bit. Yeah. What do you do when you are overwhelmed and need to calm down? What's nice and relaxing for you?
Well, I do work on my breathing. So, you breathe in, and then you hold it for 4 to 20 seconds, depending on how stressed you are. And then you breathe out. Sometimes I have to remind Dromio to breathe out. He'll just keep holding his breath forever and ever and ever, And then sometimes I like to go for a good foot rub. Those are very relaxing. But here's the thing, though. You have to be careful because sometimes they'll take your shoes. And the shoes are a very important thing to me. You need those shoes. Specifically these ones. These are my disciplining shoes, my discipline shoes.
Well, that definitely sounds like, calming techniques that we can all practice.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your line, Antipholus. What gold is this?
What gold is this? What Adam dost thou mean?
Not that Adam that kept the paradise, but the Adam that keeps the prison. He that came behind you, sir, like an evil angel, and bid you forsake your liberty.
I understand thee not.
No, why, 'tis a plain case. The man, sir, that when gentlemen are tired gives them a sob and rests them, he, sir, that takes pity on decayed men and gives them suits of durance.
What thou meanst an officer?
I, sir, the sergeant of the band, he that brings any man to answer it that breaks his band. Oh, one that thinks a man always going to bed and says, God give you good rest.
Well, sir, there rest in your foolery. Is there any ships put forth tonight? May we be gone?
Why, ma'am, I brought you word an hour since that the bark expedition put forth tonight, and then were you hindered by the sergeant.
What? No.
You are the angels that are sent for deliver you.
The fellow is distract, and so am I. And here we wander in illusions. Some blessed power deliver us from hence. I'll never be bad again. I'll never be bad again. Please. Ah.
Courtesan, well met, well met.
Well met, Master Antipholus. I see you have found the goldsmith now. Is that the chain you promised me today?
Satan, avoid! I charge thee, tempt me not.
Oh, is this Mistress Satan?
It is the devil.
Nay, she is worse. She is the devil's dam, and here she comes in the habit of a light wench, and thereof comes that the wenches say, God damn me. That is as much to say, God make me a light wench. It is written, they appear to men like angels of light. Light is an effect of fire, and fire will burn. Ergo, light wenches will burn. Come not near her.
Your man and you are marvelous merry, sir. Will you go with me? We'll mend our dinner here.
Master, if I do expect spoon meat or bespeak a long spoon.
Why, Dromio?
Marry, he must have a long spoon that must eat with the devil.
Avoid, then, fiend! What tell'st thou me of supping? Thou art, as you all are, a sorceress. I conjure thee to leave me and be gone.
Give me my or for my the chain you promised, and I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
Some devils ask but the parings of one's nail. A rush, a hair, a drop of blood, a pin, a cherry stone. But she, more covetous, would have a chain. Mistress, be wise, and if you give it her, the devil will shake her chain and fright us with it.
I pray you, sir, my ring or else the chain. I hope you do not mean to cheat me.
Avaunt, thou witch! Come, Dromio, let's go! Oh, God.
Fly, pride, says the peacock. Mistress, that you know.
What? Now out of doubt, Antipholus is mad, else would he never so demean himself. A ring he hath of mine worth 40 ducats, and for the same he promised me a chain. Both one and other he denies me now. The reason that I gather he is mad, besides this present instance of his rage, is a mad tale he told today at dinner, of his own doors being shut against his entrance. Belike his wife, acquainted with his fits, on purpose shut the doors against his way. My way is now to hie home to his house, and tell his wife that being lunatic, he rushed into my house and took perforce my ring away. This course I fittest choose, for 40 ducats is too much to lose.
Fear me not, man, I will not break away. I'll give thee air. I leave thee so much money to warrant thee as I am rested for. My wife is in a wayward mood today, and will not lightly trust the messenger that I should be attached in Ephesus. I tell you, 'twill sound harshly in her ears. Ah, here comes my man. I think he brings the money. How now, sirrah? Have you that I sent you for?
Dromio?
Here's what I warrant you will pay them all.
But where's the money?
Well, sure, I gave the money for the rope.
500 ducats, villain, for a rope! Oh! Oh!
I'll serve you 500 at that rate.
To what end did I bid thee hie thee home?
To a rope's end, sir, and to that end I am returned.
And to that end, sir, I will welcome you.
Good, ma'am, be patient.
Nay, 'tis for me to be patient. I am in adversity.
Good, now hold thy tongue.
Nay, rather persuade her to hold her hands.
Thou horseland senseless villain!
I were senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows.
Thou art sensible is nothing but blows, and so is an ass.
I am an ass indeed. You may prove it by my long ears. I have served her from the hour in my nativity to this instant, and have nothing at her hands for my service but blows. When I am cold, she heats me with beating. When I am warm, she cools me with beating. I am waked with it when I sleep, raised with it when I sit, driven out of doors with it when I go from home, welcome home with it when I return, nay, bear it on my shoulders as a beggar wants her brat, and I think when she hath lamed me, I shall beg with it from door to door.
Come, go along. My wife is coming yonder.
Mistress, respis finem respects your ends, or rather the prophecies like the parrot, beware the rope's end.
Wilt thou still talk?
How say you now? Is not your husband mad?
Incivility confirms no less. Good Dr. Pinch, you are a conjurer. Establish her in her true sense again, and I will please you what you will demand.
Alas, how fiery.
Alas, how fiery and how sharp she looks.
Mark, how he trembles in his ecstasy.
Give me your hand and let me feel your pulse.
Here is my hand, and let it feel your ear.
I charge thee, Satan, housed within this woman, to yield possession to my holy prayer, and to thy state of darkness to thee straight I conjure thee by all the saints in heaven.
Peace, doting wizard, peace. I am not mad.
Oh, that thou wert not, poor distressed soul.
Ah, you minion, you, are these your customers? Did this companion with the saffron phrase reveal and feast at my house today whilst the dogs were shut? And I denied to enter my house.
God doth know you dined at home. Where would you have remained until this time, free from these slanders and this open shame?
Dined at home? Thou villain, what sayest thou?
Sir, so to say you did not dine at home.
Were not my doors locked up and I shut out?
Perdie, your doors were locked and you shut out.
And did not she herself reveal me in there?
Sans fable, she herself reviled you there.
Did not her kitchen maid rail, taunt, and scorn me?
Centrist she did, the kitchen vestal scorned you.
And did not I, enraged, depart from thence?
In verity you did, my bones bear witness that since have felt the vigor of her rage.
Is it good to soothe her in these contraries?
It is no shame. The lady finds her vein, and yielding to her, humors well her fantasy.
Antipholus, thou hast stubborn.
Thou hast stubborned the goldsmith to arrest me.
Alas, I sent you money to redeem you by Dromio here, who came in haste for it.
Money by me, heart and goodwill you might, but surely, master, not a rag of money.
Went not thou to her for a purse of ducats?
She gave to me and I delivered it.
And I am witness with her that she did.
God and the rope maker bear me witness that I was sent for nothing but a rope.
Mistress, both man and master is possessed. I know it by their pale and deadly looks. They must be bound and laid in some dark room.
Say wherefore didst thou lock me forth today, and why dost thou deny the baggage of gold?
I did not, gentle, sick wife, lock thee forth.
And gentle mister, I received no gold, but I confess, sir, we were locked out.
Dissembling villain, thou speakst false in both.
Dissembling harlot, thou art false in all, and art confederate with a damned pack to make a loathsome abject scorn of me. But with these nails I'll pluck out these false eyes that would behold in me this shameful sport.
And let her not come near me.
More company. The fiend is strong within her.
Ay me, poor one, how pale and wan she looks.
What will you murder me, thou jailer, thou? I am thy prisoner, and wilt thou suffer make them rescue?
Master, let her go. She is my prisoner. You shall not have her.
Go bind this man, for he is frantic too.
What wilt thou do, thou peevish officer? Hast thou delight to see a wretched spouse do outrage and displeasure to herself?
Officer,
She is my prisoner. She is my prisoner. If I let her go, the debt she owes will be required of me.
I will discharge thee ere I go from thee. Bear me forthwith unto her creditor, and knowing how the debt grows, I will pay it. Good master doctor, see her safe conveyed home to my house. Oh, most unhappy day.
Oh, most unhappy strumpet!
Oh, go bear her hence, sir. Will you go with me? Say now, whose suit is she arrested at?
One Angelo, goldsmith. Do you know them?
I know the one. What is the sum she owes?
200 ducats.
Say how grows it due.
Due for a chain your wife had of him. Them.
He did bespeak a chain for me, but had it not.
When as your husband all in rage today came to my house and took away my ring, the ring I saw upon his finger now, straight after did I meet him with a chain.
It may be so, but I never did see it. Come, jailer, bring me where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large.
Oh, God, for thy mercy!
Far more help to have them bound again!
Away, they'll kill us!
I see. These witches are afraid of swords.
Yeah. She that would be your wife now ran from you.
Oh, come to the centaur, fetch our stuff from hence. Whence I long to see that we were safe and sound aboard.
Oh, Faith, stay here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw they speak us fair, give us gold. Methinks they are a gentle nation, that but for the woman that claims marriage of me, I could find in my heart to stay here still and turn witch.
I will not stay tonight for all the town. Therefore, away to get our stuff aboard.
Madam Antipholus, I wonder that you would put me to this such shame and trouble, and not without some scandal on yourself, with circumstances and oaths, so deny. But this chain, which now you wear so openly, besides the charge, the shame, the imprisonment, you have done wrong to my most honest friend, who, but for staying out of our controversy, had hoisted sail and put to sea today. This chain you had of me, can you deny it?
I think I had. I never did deny it.
Yes, you did, ma'am, and forswore it too.
Who heard me to deny or forswear it?
These ears of mine, thou knowest, did hear thee. Fie on thee, wench! 'Tis pity that thou livest to walk where any honest folk resort.
Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I'll prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou darest stand.
I dare and do defy thee for a villain.
Oh, for God's sake, she is mad! Some get within her, take her sword away, bind Romeo to and bear them to my house.
Run! Master! Run, for God's sake! Take a house! This is some friary inn, or we are spoiled!
Be quiet,
Be
people.
quiet, people. Wherefore throng you hither?
To fetch my poor distracted sweet wife hence. Let us come in that we may bind her fast and bear her home for her recovery.
I knew she was not in her perfect wits. I am sorry now that I did draw on her.
How long hath this possession held this one?
This week she hath been heavy, sour, sad, and much different than the woman she was. But till this afternoon her passion ne'er break into extreme rage.
Hath she not lost much wealth by wreck of sea, buried some dear friend? Hath not else her eye strayed, her affection in unlawful love, a sin prevailing much in youthful ones, who give their eyes the liberty of gazing? Which of these sorrows is she subject to?
None of these, except it be the last, namely some love that drew her oft from home.
You should for that have apprehended her.
Why, so what did?
Aye, but not rough enough.
As roughly as my modesty would let me.
Haply in private.
And in assemblies too.
Aye, but not enough.
It was the copy of our conference. In bed she slept, not for my urging it. At board she fed, not for my urging it. Alone it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced it. Still did I tell her it was viled and bad.
And thereof came of it that your wife was mad. The venom clamors of a jealous woman poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seems her sleeps were hindered by thy railing, and thereof comes it that her head is light. Thou sayest her meat was socked by thy upbraidings. Unquiet meals make ill digestions, and thereof the raging fire of fever bred. And what's a fever but a fit of madness? Thou sayest her sports were hindered by thy brawls. Sweet recreation barred, what doth ensue but moody and dull melancholy in food and sport and life-preserving rest? To be disturbed would man or beast. The consequence is this, then: thy jealous fits have scarred thy partner from the use of wits.
She never reprehended her, but mildly, when she demeaned herself rough, rude, and wildly. Why bear you these rebukes and answer not?
She did betray me to my own reproof. Good people, enter and lay hold on her.
No, not a creature enters my house.
Then let your servants bring my dear wife forth.
Neither, for she took this place for sanctuary, and it shall privilege her from your hands, till I have brought her to her wits again, or lose my labor in assaying it.
I will attend my good wife, be her nurse, diet her sickness, for it is my office, and will have no attorney but myself, and therefore let me have her home with me.
Be patient, for I will not let her stir till I have used the approved means I have, with wholesome syrups, drugs, and holy prayers, to make of her a formal one again. It is a branch and parcel of my oath, a charitable duty of my order. Therefore depart, and leave her here with me.
I will not hence, and leave my poor wife here, and it doth beseem your holiness to separate lady and the wife.
Be quiet and depart. Thou shalt not have her.
Oh, complain unto the Duke of this indignity.
Come, come. I will fall prostrate at his feet and never rise until my tears and prayers have won his grace to come in person hither and take perforce my sweet wife from the abbess.
By this, I think the dial point's at 5, and I'm sure the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, this place of death and sorry execution behind the ditches of the abbey here.
Upon what cause?
To see a reverend Syracusan merchant who put unluckily into this bay against the laws and statutes of this town, beheaded publicly for his offense. See where they come now. We will behold his death.
Oh, kneel to the Duke before he pass the abbey.
Yet once again proclaim it publicly. If any friend will pay the sum for him, just text UPS online to 44321. He shall not die, so much we tender him.
Justice will take her Duke against the abbess.
She is a virtuous and reverend lady. It cannot be that she has done thee wrong.
May it please your grace, Antipholus, my wife, who I made lord of me, and all I had, a most outrageous fit of madness took her, that desperately she hurried through the streets, and with her bondmen all mad, as she, doing displeasure to the citizens, by rushing in their houses, bearing thence rings, jewels, anything that her rage did like. Once I did get her bound, and sent her home. Anon, I wot not, but what strong escape she broke from those, and then had the guard of her, and with her mad attendant, and herself, each one with ireful passion, and with drawn swords, met us again, and madly bent on us, chased us away, until finding them again, we came again to bind them. Then they fled into this abbey, whither we pursued them, and here the abbess shuts the gates on us, and will not suffer us to fetch her out, nor send her forth that we may bear her hence. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let her be brought forth and borne hence for help.
Long since thy fierce wife served me in my wars, And I to thee engaged a prince's word when thou didst make her master of thy bed, to do her all the grace and good I could. Go, some of you, knock at the abbey. What's that word? Jacob?
Knock at the abbey gate.
Thank you. Yes. Good speechwriter, that, Jacob. Go, some of you, knock at the abbey gate, and bid the lady abbess come to me, and I will determine this before I stir.
Messenger, O mistress.
Go to messenger.
Looks like we might not have our messenger right now. Hey, Duke.
Yes.
Let's see. How are things going for you right now?
Well, there's no war right now, so that's good.
That's great. Can you tell us a story about the last war that you fought in?
Well, the last war is the one I was just talking about. I was actually just fighting it. I wasn't the Duke at the time. My uncle, Menaphon, he was the Duke. And I was one of the leaders of the troops, along with Antipholus. That's why we're such good friends. She's a fierce warrior, I have to tell you that. And so we won, obviously, and we both survived, which is really all that matters. I mean, a lot of people died, but it wasn't any of us. It wasn't anybody with money. So.
That is a riveting story. Let's go from messenger. Oh, mistress.
Oh, mistress, shift and save yourself. My master and her man are both broke loose, beaten the maids a row, and bound the doctor, whose beard they have singed off with brands of fire, and ever as it blazed, they threw on him great piles of muddled mire to quench the hair. My master preaches patience to him, and the while her man with scissors nicks him like a fool. And sure, unless you send some present help between them, they will kill the conqueror.
Please, fool, thy mistress and her man are here, and that is false that thou dost report on us.
Mistress, upon my life, I tell you true, I have not breathed almost since I did see it. She cries for you and vows if she can take you to scorch your face and to disfigure you. I hear her, mistress. Fly, be gone.
Come, stand by me. Fear nothing. Guard yourselves.
My good, you that she is born about invisible. Even now we housed her in the abbey here, and now she's there past thought of human reason.
Justice, most gracious Duke. Oh, grant me justice even for the service that long since I did thee, when I bestrid thee in the wars, and took deep scars to save thy life, even for the blood that then I lost thee. Now grant me justice.
Unless the fear of death doth make me dote, I see my daughter, Antipholus, Andromio.
Justice, sweet prince, against yet woman there, she whom gavest to me to be my wife, hath abused and dishonored me, even in the strength and height of injury, beyond imagination in the wrong that she this day hath shameless thrown on me.
Discover how. And thou shalt
This
find
day, great Duke, she shut the doors upon me, while she with harlots feasted in my house.
A grievous fault. Say, woman, didst thou so?
No, my good lord! She and my sister today did dine together. So befall my soul, as this is false, she burthens me withal.
Ne'er may I look on day, nor sleep on night, but she tells to your highness simple truth.
Oh, perjured woman, they are both forsworn. In this mad one justly chargeth them.
My liege, I am advised what I say. This woman locked me out this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were they not packed with her, could witness it, for they were with me then, who parted with me to fetch the chain, promised to bring it to Porpentine, our dinner done, and they not coming hither. I sent to seek them. In the street, I met them. There did this perjured goldsmith swear me down that I this day of them received the chain. For God, they knows, I saw not, for which they did arrest me with an officer. I did obey and sent my peasant home for certain ducats. He was not returned. By the way, we met my wife and her sister. They brought one pinch. A hungry, lean-faced villain, a merry androgyny of mountebank, threadbare juggler with a fortune teller, a heady, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wench. A living dead man.
I know the
This
man, yeah.
Perniculous
I've seen
ass,
him.
forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, a gazing, mine eye feeling mine pulse, and with no face as 'twirs, out facing me, cries out, I was possessed! Then all together cries, they fell upon me, bound me, bore me thence, and in a dark and dankish vault at home they left me there and my man bound together, till gnawing with my teeth at the bounds in sunder, I gained my freedom, and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech to give me ample satisfaction. For these deep shames I have great indignities.
My lord, in truth, thus far I have witnessed with her that she did not dine at home, but was locked out.
But had she such a chain of thee, or no?
She had, my
Oh.
lord, and when she ran in here, the people saw the chain about her neck. Besides, I would be sworn these ears of mine heard you confess that you had the chain of me, after you first forsworn it on the mart, and thereupon I drew my sword on you, and then you fled into the abyss here?
Did you put the sword down, maybe? Just, Duke.
The
sword away. Sword away. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Angelo,
Perfect.
from whence I think.
From whence I think you came by miracle?
I never came within these abbey walls, nor didst thou draw thy sword on me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven. And this is false. You burden me with all.
But what an intricate impeach is this? I think you all have drunk of Circe's cup. If here you had housed her, here she would have been. If she were mad, she could not plead so coldly. You say she dined at home. Goldsmith here denies that, saying, Sirrah, what say you?
Sir, she dined with her here at the Porpentine.
He did, and from my finger snatch that ring.
Tis true, my liege. This ring I had of her.
Sawest thou her enter at the abbey here?
As sure, my liege, as I do see your grace.
Why, this is strange. Go, call the abbess hither. I think you are all mated or stark mad.
Mighty Duke, vouch me to speak a word. Haply, I see a friend will save my life and pay the sum that may deliver me.
Speak freely, Syracusian, what thou wilt.
Is not your name called Antipholus? And is not that your bondman and Dromio?
Oh, within this hour I was her bondman, sir, but she, I thank her, bless you, gnawed into my cords. Now am I Dromio and her man unbound.
I am sure you both of you remember me.
Ourselves we do remember, sir, by you, for lately we were as bound as you are now. You are not Pinch's patients, are you, sir?
Why look you strange on me? You know me well.
I never saw you in my life till now.
Oh, grief, since you saw me last, it changed me, and careful hours with times deformed and have written strange features on my face. But tell me yet, dost thou not know my voice?
Neither.
Ah, Dromio, nor thou.
No, trust me, sir, not I.
I am sure thou dost.
I am, sir, but I am sure I do not. And whatsoever a man denies, you are now bound to believe him.
Not know my voice. Oh, time's extremity has so cracked and splitted my poor tongue in 7 short years, that here my only child knows not my feeble key of untuned cares. Tell me, thou art my child, Antipholus.
I never saw my father in my life.
I tell thee, Syracusan, 20 years have I been patron to Antipholus in the wars, during which time she ne'er saw Syracusa. I see thy age and dangers make thee dote.
Most mighty Duke, behold a man much wronged.
I see two same wives, or mine eyes deceive me.
One of these folk is genius to the other, and so of these. Which is the natural one, and in which the spirit? Who deciphers them?
I, sir, am Dromio. Command him away.
I, sir, am Dromio. Pray let me stay.
Aegean, art thou not? Or else his ghost?
Oh, my old master. Who hath bound him here?
Whoever bound him, I will loose his bonds and gain a husband by his liberty. Speak, old Aegeon, if thou beest the man that once had a wife called Amelia, that bore thee at a burthen 2 fair girls. Oh, if thou beest the same Aegeon, speak, and speak unto the same Amelia.
Why, here begins the morning story right. These two Antipholus, these two so like, and these two Dromios, one in semblance. Well, these are the parents to these children, which I accidentally are met together.
I dream not. Thou art Amelia. If thou art she, tell me, where is the girl that floated with thee on that fatal raft?
My men of Epidemium, she and I and the twin Dromio, all were taken up. But by and by, rude fishermen of Corinth took by force Dromio and my child from them, and me they left with those of Epidemium. What then became of them, I cannot tell. I to this fortune that you see me in.
Antipholus, you came from Corinth first.
No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse.
Stand apart. I know not which is which.
Antipholus of Ephesus. I came from Corinth.
I did not know if I had that line.
All right. The line is, I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
And I with her.
And that's Antipholus of Ephesus again, brought to his town by that.
Brought to his town by that.
Most famous warrior duke.
Most famous warrior duke.
Your most renowned uncle.
Your most renowned uncle.
Which of you two did dine with me today?
I, gentle mistress.
No. You do. Good stuff.
Why?
Adriana, and you are not my husband.
Are you not my sweet wife? Can you hear me? Sweet wife, are you not my sweet wife?
It looks like we're having some trouble with Antipholus' scroll. So while we figure that out, Adriana, actually, I was interested. You said those necklaces each, like every time your wife messed up, she got you a new necklace, right?
Messed up? No.
Oh.
No. It's when she would be on a business trip.
Oh, I
You
see.
know, something that like just delayed her from home. Like today, she was delayed. And no, it's not a mess up. That would be ridiculous to wear that around my neck.
Gotcha.
Really?
Oh.
You know, I was over at Antipholus' house the other day. I saw a big box of necklaces just hanging out in the back storeroom.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, it was in a trunk covered over with a Turkish tapestry.
Don't
mention
his birthday coming up, so you know.
More of a desk than a trunk, really.
It's good to plan ahead, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you should take notes.
They're
You're
really.
gonna mess up a lot.
I still have my sandales.
The sandale.
Oh, well, it's a very particular type of shoe. It's pretty flexible and has good bounce.
You know, sometimes when you're stuck in prison for a really long time, you forget what you're supposed to say. So where was I? What was I saying? Because I can't remember.
Stand apart. I know not which is which.
I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
And I with her.
Brought to this town by the most famous warrior, Duke Megaphon, your most renowned uncle.
Which of the two of you did dine with me today?
Oh, that's us.
Hi, gentle mistress.
You know, my sweet wife.
No, I say nay to that.
And so do I, yet did she call me so? And this fair gentlewoman, her sister here, did call me sister. What I told you then, I hope I shall have leisure to make good. If this be not a dream I see and hear.
That is the chain, ma'am, which you had of me.
Oh, I think it be, sir. I deny it not.
And you, sir, for this train, arrested me.
I think I did, ma'am. I deny it not.
I sent you money, miss, to be your bail by Dromio, but I think he brought it not.
No, none by me.
No, this purse of ducats, I received from you, and Dromio, my man, did bring them me. I see we still did meet each other's man, and I was ta'en for her, and her for me, and thereupon these heirs are rose.
These
Who not witches? Whew. Just taking a moment for that.
These errors are arose?
These errors are a rose, yes.
All right, let's go from Antipholus of Ephesus, these ducats pawn.
These ducats pawn I for my father here.
It shall not need. My father hath his life. I can change the laws.
Sir, I must have that diamond from you.
Take it. And much thanks to your good cheer for my good cheer.
Renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take the pains to go with us into the abbey here, and to hear at large discoursed all our fortunes, and all that are assembled in this place, that by this sympathized one day's error have suffered wrong. Go, keep us company, and we shall make full satisfaction. 33 years have I but gone in travail of you, my girls, until this present hour my heavy burthen are delivered. The Duke, my husband, and my children both, and you, the calendars of their nativity, go to a gossip's feast, and go with me after so long grief, such nativity.
With all my heart. I'll gossip at this feast, huh? Yeah, let's
Mistress, shall I fetch your stuff from shipboard?
Ah, Dromio, what stuff of mine hast thou embarked?
Your goods that lay at host, ma'am, in the centaur?
He speaks
Oh,
to me.
oh.
I am your master, Dromio. Come, go with us. We'll look to that anon. Oh, embrace thy brother there. Rejoice with him.
There is a lady friend at your master's house that kitchened me to you today at dinner. She shall now be my sister, not my wife.
Methinks you are my glass and not my brother. I see by you I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk within to see their gossiping?
Not I, sir. You are my elder.
That's the question. How shall we try it?
We'll draw cuts for the senior. Till then, lead thou first.
Nay, then thus. We came into this world like brother and brother. Now let's go hand in hand, not one before the other.
Venice, the Comedy of Errors. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope to see you next weekend for our next shows coming up. I don't have those off the top of my head. Let's see. What do we have going on next weekend? I'm going to send it to Jesse to wrap us up here.
Yes, so thank you so much for coming and watching the show. Again, we've got shows going on next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all at 6 p.m., all right on our Facebook group. We just want to say, again, thank you so much. And if you wouldn't mind tossing a little money into our buckets, then that is... Loading. But yes, and that is OpsFest at 44321. Thank you. We have Merry Wives on Friday, Hamlet on Saturday, and Twelfth Night on Sunday. All here, all 6 o'clock. Thank you all again. I hope you had as good of a time as we did with this Comedy of Errors.